Wallpaper removal. You call me and you say, it's a disaster. You send me videos on how you've removed it and how you have failed. You send me your pictures. And you know that I always tell you, you went about it the wrong way. There's a couple of ways to attack wallpaper removal. Depending on how it was put up, correctly or incorrectly, depending upon the material you're removing, will dictate how you go about taking it down. This wallpaper is paper. You might be removing leather or vinyl. I don't think you'll have a hard time taking that down because this tears. Your leather and your thicker wall covers don't. If you're taking down paper and you're taking it down over texture, por favor, muestra a la gente la textura de un ángulo cerca de la pared. Como eso, señor. Gracias. Yeah. Now, folks, you're looking at that texture. You see it, right? The benefit of taking down wall covering with a texture is that the wall covering never really sticks to the wall 100% anyway. Because you have highs and lows, the wall covering is only contacting about 75 to 85% of the wall, which means you can do this. You see, if there were no nooks and crannies on this wall, I couldn't do that. So, you've gotten this far, you're taking wall covering down from textured wall, and now you want to take it down right. There's a wrong way and there's a right way. I could pull the sheet out and walk away from the wall with the sheet over my head, right? It's going to tear. The way to get this wall covering off properly is to simply put the least amount of tear pressure on it. If I walk on a 90-degree angle away from the wall, it's going to tear this. The paper can't take that kind of pressure, but it can take this. Rather than tear it off, let's peel it off. You know when you're opening an orange, you know that you can get small pieces off of the fruit, or you can get big pieces. And you get your finger under it, and you just peel it, right? And you try to keep the orange peel together without ripping it. And that's what we're going to do here. So let's peel it. Rather than go this way, tearing it, we're going to peel. Now, there's a couple of things that we can do to accelerate or to facilitate the removal. One of them is this. Oh my gosh. I got this. Without using too much water, this will lubricate the adhesive. Make it a little moist. Now, I already did this before the video, so I got some water behind what I'm about to show you. The rest of it above, show them this large wall. This goes up 13 feet. The rest of it, folks, just came down just by peeling it right off. But here it got tough. Look at that. And that's what most people start panicking about. So let's show them the floor. Now we're working on a wood floor. I have 2 layers of plastic taped to the woodwork so that water does not get onto the floor. Come in close. Please put the camera right at the action. Right here. I want them to see this. Cuando estoy removiendo el tapiz, yo quiero la cámara mirando aquí.
Okay.
little higher. Okay, so you can see I'm starting to lose it, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm still gonna pull it close to the wall. This large piece is a lot better than this, right? Same thing here. Now let me grab a ladder. Just keep the camera right here. Using the same principle, we're going to go this way. Since our wall covering has already ripped, let's go with it. Now you see, I'm not pulling on one part of it. I'm trying to keep the wall covering all in one piece. So rather than pull it here, I'm going to pull it on both ends. After a while, it starts becoming fun, doesn't it? Actually, it is. When you start pulling down a wall this big, and you got sheets this wide coming down, it's a real victory. Rather than playing with the perforator and your knives, and then making a mess of the wall, this is how you want to do it. Peel rather than tear. Again, this might not happen in your home because you're pulling it off of a flat wall. And if you're taking it off of a flat wall, if they didn't prepare the flat wall, you're going to have a nightmare. You see, it would be better if you had a textured wall that were not properly treated before applying the wall covering. A flat wall, it's just going to come off in little slivers. But here, at least we have the air underneath it. We don't have total adhesion. That's the case with a textured wall, unless you put a thick amount of glue on it and the glue fills in all of the nooks and crannies, which usually isn't the case. Now, I'm going to try to get this piece up so I can get my hands underneath it. But once it stops, if it tears, abandon that and simply go with it. However you can get the sheet down in the largest sections, that's what you do. Okay, she started to tear. Isn't that fun? Be careful if you're using water and you get too much water around this area. You can actually start a fire. Now, for those of you who do this, I know that you know that, but I'm speaking to the people who never did it before. Now, as I do this, I just want to mention, you have 10 tools on your hands. All of your fingernails are going to act as the least offensive, the least invasive tool by which you can take the wall covering down. If you start doing this with a knife, you're going to cause more problems than it's worth. And so your fingers, they don't scratch too much. And so they allow you to get right under the wall covering without damaging the substrate. Now, this is easy, I realize that. But if it were not easy, here's what you would do. You would start out with the least aggressive method, which would simply be water. Not too much. Then I take my hand and I rub it in. And what I'm doing there is preventing the water from dripping all over the place toward the floor. Keep the water on the wall. You see how it's coming up? I'm just using my hand here. Look at that. And I'm saturating the backing. Now, every wall covering, with the exception of peel and stick, has a backing. You're looking at it. Wall covering consists of two pieces, the shell and the backing on which the shell is glued. And this is what you're trying to get to right here. So if we're going with the second level of removal, we're just going to use water, and we're going to wet the edges so that we can get our fingers under there. Because I can tell you this, the person who installed this wall covering used something different at the lower part of the wall than they did at the top. You saw how easily it came off, right? And so no problem, we just up the ante in using a little water and a lot of patience. Don't go scraping down your wall covering because you're going to have an expensive mess on your hands. So, what the water is doing is breaking the adhesion of the glue. It's re-wetting the glue. Your glue is glue for years. It's going to stay on your wall, and it's still glue. If you wet it and you put it elsewhere, guess what? It's going to stick. You'll know that when you take down your wall covering and you just throw this on your floor, and then you come back tomorrow, and now you're doing a wallpaper removal job from your floor, because the glue will make it stick to the floor. So when we wet this, we're simply re-liquefying the adhesion. That's all. And we're making it less strong temporarily while it's wet. That's all you're doing. Now, after you get this all down, how do you treat your wall? Okay, please listen to me, because this is important. When you get this down, you will inevitably have a layer of glue on your wall. Let's take a look. As you can see in this video, you can see dark and light. And so this is glue. I can feel it. You will not get this off. Leave it on the wall and cover it. My suggestion is two things. And I've done a few videos back, I covered this information. I like Kills, the original. It's a white can with red letters. It says Kills Original. Although you may not like the smell. You must contain this glue and make it part of the wall. If you don't use that, you can go to a product called Guards from Zinsser. All right? If you use a shellac, it gets gunked up and you cause a texture on the wall rather than putting a nice flat surface on the glue to contain it. So I'm suggesting here, there are other products, but I suggest that you go with Kills Original, which is an oil-based product, or Guards, okay? And that will contain your glue. Because if you hang wallpaper over it, no problem, you can just go right over it. Because the glue is gonna activate, and it's gonna keep your new wall covering down, no big deal. But if you're painting this, the paint it'll liquefy the glue and you'll have cracks all over the place. So you must contain the glue with a product. Okay, I think I've shown you what I wanted to show you in this video. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. Now, tell me how you do it. Obviously, this removal that I'm doing in this video is particular to this situation. This is paper, this is texture. And a crazy person didn't put it on, so it's coming off easily. So you might have paper and the wall wasn't prepared and it's not coming down right. Don't beat yourself over the head. There's another method to go about if that's your situation. Just leave me a question if that's your situation and I'll help you out. Thanks for watching the video. Please click on like, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you on the next one.